Welcome to All Fox Racing PlayStation. Welcome to a new season of racing. It's the All Fox Touring Car Championship with touring cars, as the name indicates. And round one, race one, the opening race of the season, is here at the Red Bull Ring. Now, a major innovation for this championship is that the class is the same, but drivers are allowed to pick different cars. So we've got the Renault Megane that you can see there in the picture, and also the BMW 320 touring car. It should be a fairly fascinating championship with close racing and different cars with different characteristics battling it out for the win. And look at this, 15 drivers here at the Red Bull Ring. And pole position is for Delphi Mora, that is again at the front of the field. Second place is a rookie, also in the Megane, Joey English. Second row is Simon Allen and Dale Taylor. Third row, Diogo Silva and Kev Allen. Fourth row, the first BMWs, although we are told that they will have a fast starting car. They're 7th and 8th with Jorge Jesus followed by Darren Head. 9th is Diogo Almeida in the Megane. 10th is John Scott in the Megane. So only two Beamers in the top 10. This is going to get interesting. And then we've got the rest of the BMW drivers with Rob Oldham in 11th, Andrew Dalby in 12th. 13th is Gonçalo Mota. 14th is Scott Davely. 15th is Jumbo. We've got almost a full field, so it should be a fairly interesting race. And let's find out what's going to happen here at the Red Bull Ring as we await for the lights to get out. And away they go for another season of racing. And Delphi Mora has had a good start, so did Joey English. And look at the BMWs, as we were told. George Jesus already almost up into third place. Look at that handle on the inside of everyone as we got 4 wide into the first corner. 4 wide into the first corner. And there's a crash there at the back. A crash there at the back, and it seems to me that it's Diogo Silva and Darren Head involved in it. Darren Head also involved in it, and the fast starting BMW ends up. Oh, Kev Allen is in the middle of that as well. Kev Allen is in the middle of that as well. We'll get the replay. As these three drivers were at the sharp end of the grid. We're trying to get back into the chase camera with Kev Allen. So let's see what happened here. Darren Head definitely had a good start. He was, remember, in 8th spot. And this is what happened there. As look at this, Diogo Silva immediately going there on the. So Diogo Silva is on the inside, protecting from Kev. Darren is long gone, so is Jorge Jesus, and then there's a bit of a 3 wide situation. Darren gets out of it. And there they go through turn 1. So far, so good. And and then Diogo is spinning. But I'm not sure if he's spinning because he got hit or because he just spun on his own. Darren Head he thought about going for Dale Taylor's position there. But let's get this replay sorted from Darren's perspective. He's trying, well, this 4 wide here with Dale Taylor, Jorge Jesus, and Simon Allen, as well as Darren. Now Diogo Silva is coming on the outside there, and it's a genuine move, but and they just connect, and then the three of them connect, and it's mayhem it's mayhem in there. Diogo Silva is gone. He's in 13th place, and more contact here between Kev Allen and Darren Head. But let's go back to the race leader and see if there is there's lots of action there. Oh, lots of people there on 2 wheels, and here comes Joey English. Look at what happened to Delphi Mora. He definitely he braked so late, Delphi there. He brakes so late. He's out of the track, but he's almost there. Joey English getting hit by Jorge Jesus. Jorge Jesus still in 3rd place with that BMW. 4th is Simon Allen. 5th is Rob Oldham. 6th is Gonçalo Mota. 7th is Del Taylor, but he's going after the 6th position of Gonçalo Mota, and he's going to get it. That was a good move there by Dale Taylor on Gonçalo Mota for 6th spot. 7th is Gonçalo, 8th is Diogo Almeida, 9th is Andrew Dalby, up to 10th is Jumbo. Remember, he started from 15th. 11th is Scott Davis, 12th is John Scott, who has had a poor start. 13th, of course, is Diogo Silva, and he's already 5 seconds behind the other drivers. Let's see where these guys will get to, but the first lap is about to get completed. The top 2 are right on each other's tail, as Delphi Mora is going to lead the opening lap of race 1. That's the opening lap of the season. And Joe English in his first race is already in 2nd place. 3rd is George Jesus. 4th is Simon Allen. And Simon is not far from George Jesus. The Megans were quicker. The BMWs were quick at the start. So there is a bit of a recovery play there for Simon Allen. That is Dale Taylor. Rob Oldham up into 6th place, as we saw, overtaking Gonçalo Mota. And now more action here as Gonçalo Mota gets back at Rob Oldham and recovers the position. And Jumbo is up into 8th place, so something has happened to Diogo Almeida. And I wonder, we have a situation here. Diogo Almeida on Andrew Dalby, and this was attempting there on the inside. He's too far behind. He goes for it. It's Andrew's corner, and the contact happens. And there are several drivers there. The BMW of Scott Davley up into 9th, Jumbo up into 8th place, and John Scott up into 10th. And Andrew Dalby gets back in 12th place and is now under pressure from Diogo Silva. And look at that, that's heavy braking there in the turn 3 as Diogo goes side by side with Andrew Dalby, but Andrew is having none of it and takes the position. Where is let's look for more action. Darren Head is not far behind these 2 drivers as well. Diogo Almeida is in the middle of a very interesting group, which is actually led by Gonçalo Mota in the 6th place. And look at this here, Diogo Almeida trying to go around John Scott now on the inside there, and brakes later. Can he hold on to it? Yes, he can. Nice move there by, and someone is crashed to a crash there between Gonçalo Mota and Rob Oldham. A crash there between Gonçalo Mota and Rob Oldham. What a disaster for these 2 drivers. They've been battling since the first lap. And look at this, Gonçalo is under pressure. He's going on the inside. Rob is going on the outside. Now there's the switcheroo, and then contact happens between these 2. They're actually in pit lane. So they will have to find, being careful. Gonçalo spins yet again. Rob Oldham, well, they are now 14th and 15th after this incident, so not good for these 2 drivers that were doing so well, 6th and 7th. Now they continue to battle, but basically now, this is Darren Head getting overtaken by Kev Allen. That's only for 12th place. But a nice battle there as Darren is coming back at Kev and recovers that 12th position. Diogo Silva continues to be behind Andrew Dalby. Let's look at the group that we were looking at just a while ago, which consists of now John Scott, Scott Davley, Diogo Almeida recovering nicely there, up into 7th place. 6th is Jumbo. 5th, by the way, is Dale Taylor. 4th is Simon Allen. Simon Allen still behind George Jesus, and these guys have already lost a few seconds actually to the top 2, which are Joe English and Delphi Mora. Only 4/10 of a second separate these 2. Let's look for more battles as we see Simon Allen going after George Jesus for 3rd place. Pretty much battles through the field. We'll do our best to cover the main ones. And look at this, George Jesus not particularly fast here. No, look at this, going side by side, and Simon Allen had to force his way there a little bit. Del Teller is already trying to... oh, Del Teller, what happened to Del Teller? What happened to Del Teller? Did he spin or what? Is he trying to avoid a penalty? Doesn't look like it. This is the replay of they're opportunistically running side by side. There a bit of pushing and shoving, as you would expect in touring car racing. But Del Teller lost quite a lot of momentum there. And where is Diogo Almeida? He's still too far behind. And Diogo Almeida has made a move on Jumbo. Let's look at the replay of that. It was a Simon Allen type of move. The Megane seems to be a bit more agile here at the last section of the Red Bull Ring. 8 is John Scott, or John Scott already ahead of Scott Davely. And Diogo Silva has made a move on Andrew Dalby. He's up into 10th place. And look at that. 3 wide there between Scott Davely, John Scott and Jumbo. And this is incredible. The BMW seems to have good traction out of turn 1. Is not a particularly good car in the last section of this circuit, no. But I'll tell you who has made some very nice moves is Diogo Almeida, who has pretty much overtaken everyone here to go into 6th place. And the battles here continue. Diogo Silva already ahead of Andrew Dalby, as we mentioned. Kev Allen still behind, ahead, sorry, of Darren Head. And several drivers struggling a little bit through this turn 3. Let's go back to Scott Davely, because there's quite a lot of action still going on here between him and his favorite pal in the Old Fox Racing PlayStation. That's John Scott, of course. Look at the gap at the front has increased somewhat from 4/10 of a second to... oh, and something has happened for 3rd place, which, well, we have seen that, sorry. I'm now mixing things up a little bit. Simon Allen continues to be in 3rd, and here comes Del Teller now on Jorge Jesus, and this is going to be a nice move because Jorge was again very slow here out of the last corner. But remember, the BMW does have good traction out of turn 1, but Del Teller up into 4th place. 5th is Jorge Jesus, the first BMW. 6th is Diogo Almeida. 7th is John Scott. 8th is Jumbo. Jumbo was overtaken by John Scott as well. 9th is Scott Davely. And the driver that's coming to join them is still a second behind, but coming quickly is Diogo Silva. Look at the lap times. Diogo Silva 1:38.443 against 1:40 by the Beamers. And oh, look at this, John Scott lost it there. He was doing a two-wheelie on the turn 2. Now he's lost a lot of momentum. Here comes Jumbo. But the guy who's coming is Diogo Silva. There he is. And Scott Davely is on the inside there. Diogo Silva is trying to make a move on the outside there. It's fairly difficult to overtake there. Let's follow Diogo here because he is not that far behind. There is Andrew Dalby and Darren Head. Darren Head, by the way, has gone ahead of... Scott Davely has hit Jumbo in the back. The BMW is not helping one another. Here comes Diogo Silva on the inside, and this is going to be job done. Or is it because Scott tries to run side by side there, but I think he's lost the position. Yes, Diogo Silva is up into 9th spot. Diogo Silva up into 9th spot. Now the next guy is Jumbo. Next guy on the horizon is Jumbo, and the Meganes are faster than the BMWs in this last section. Look at Diogo Silva. The BMW does look a lot less agile, and look at this, that's Andrew Dalby on Scott Davely. Scott Davely has been overtaken by Andrew Dalby. Here comes Darren Head as well, but look at this, there's a 2x2 ahead. Almost looks like a formation lap there. And here comes Diogo Silva on Jumbo, and that is job done, nicely done there by the Megane of the Portuguese driver, taking Jumbo in turn 1. Now he's got to go defensive. The BMW does have quite a lot of traction out of turn 1. He's going on the inside, and Jumbo is going on the outside. Andrew Dalby is a close spectator. And look at the leads. Look at the lead battle for the lead. We are forgetting about the leaders. Oh, and look at that. That's who was this? That was Scott Davely, I believe. Let's. And Scott Davely has crashed with Kev Allen. This is a concertina effect, and we're not quite sure where it started. Let's look at this from Kev Allen's perspective. We'll check on the leaders very shortly. But this is, oh, and it's Caval, and this is coming. Oh, and Caval, and this is absolutely no way that this overtake could ever work. They're now trying to reset. Oh, and Caval gets hit by, I believe, Gonçalo Mota. Or was it Scott Davely doing... Oh dear. This is a strange incident. So Scott Davely gets taken out there by Kev. And... oh, it's Gonçalo Mota that has hit... it's Gonçalo Mota that has hit Cavan. Cavan drops to last. Scott Davely 14th. 13th is... Gonçalo Mota, 12th is Rob Oldham, then head up into 3rd there, oh, up into 11th, sorry, oh, oh, no, Andrew Dalby and Darren Head get together, and we'll get a replay, because we caught the ends of that incident. We're still on lap 6, by the way, out of 13. Now, Darren is trying to go on the inside, a bit of contact there, but they're side by side, and well, let's look at the beginning of this incident again. Well, Darren was actually on the inside. Now, at this point is Darren's corner, but Andrew is braking much later, and does a good move there, actually. Darren has a bit of contact. They're running side by side through the corner, and now there's just, well, Andrew Dalby did not see that Darren was there. Andrew Dalby did not see that Darren was there, but they continue the battle as if nothing has happened. But Andrew Dalby definitely under pressure from Darren Head, and now look at this, he's going on the outside there, which is not, more contact, this is not going to end well. Darren Head really trying hard to overtake Andrew Dalby. Now he's going to go on the inside. Oh, and contact now. And Darren ends up in pit lane. Darren is in pit lane. Can he reset? Yes, he can. Well, two incidents between two BMW drivers in the matter of a few corners. Now, Darren was trying to go on the outside, then on the inside. He's coming with more momentum. And I think, to be fair, Andrew Dalby was out of control. He did not hit Darren on purpose. He was just out of control, and basically just ends up running over him. Now, one thing that we have not seen is what happened with the race leaders, because they were so close, and now they're separated by a second. So we'll just rewind to see if we haven't missed anything major in this battle for the lead. That the race so far has been dominated by Delphi Mora, but Joey English is doing a great debut, and he is definitely still in play for the win. Let's see if we have missed... oh, we have missed some action there, as Joey English was actually very close. Take it on the onboard here, and they're so close that they're actually going to give each other a small kiss. Not really. And Joey English now continues to chase Delphi Mora, but to know, oh, he's made a mistake here. He missed the apex of that corner, and clearly he's lost a few tenths of a second there. As we are now on lap 7, let's go back and look at more battles through the field. 3rd is Saminau, and 4th is Del Teller. 5th, George Zuza. George doing a great job. If this was a BMW race, he would be leading it by 15 seconds. Because the next BMW down the road is Jumbo in 9th place. 6th is Diogo Almeida. 7th is John Scott. 8th is Diogo Silva. 9th is Jumbo. 10th is Andrew Dalby. 11th is Darren Head, and Darren has lost a bit of time, of course, with that almost pit lane excursion, and the BMWs are now all over each other here between 11th, 12th, 13th and 14th, because Scott Davely is not far behind. But BMW certainly has a lot of work to do. The last car, by the way, is a Megane. That's Cavallan, who had this incident earlier on with Scott Davely. Let's look for battles. Things are now a little bit more stabilized, but Dale Taylor is very close to Simon Allen. That these two drivers are already almost 8 seconds behind the leaders after 7 laps. We'll keep an eye on other battles. There's a big one here between Rob Oldham and Darren Head as well. And well, they're close to each other, but not quite wheel to wheel yet, as Gonçalo Mota is not far behind. But look at the BMWs; they've basically aggregated themselves at the back end of the grids. Now let's go through the field. Delphi Mora is leading this race since lap 1. Second place man is Joey English. Third place is Simon Allen, and fourth place is Dale Taylor, and they continue to battle. Simon, that number 11 car on the air bubbles, and Dale very close behind. We'll keep an eye on that battle. 50 is the first BMW of Jorge Jesus. There he is, the yellow car. 60 is Diogo Almeida. 7th is John Scott. And where is Diogo Silva? He's there at the back. He's already with his headlights on, but he's got a lot of work to do if he is to challenge that 7th place. There he is, Diogo Silva in 8th place. 9th is Jumbo, the second BMW. 10th is Andrew Dalby, the third BMW. 11th is Darren Head, and Darren has checked out from Rob Oldham. Rob Oldham, by the way, lost the position to Gonçalo Mota. Gonçalo now up into 12th. There's a good battle here between the Beamers, as Rob Oldham is in 13th. 14th is Scott Davley, and look at this, Kev Allen is all over him as well, as Kev tries to recover a few more points. Not the race that he wanted, but surely it's going to be a tight championship, so any point is basically useful, although we would expect Kev to be able to drop this result at the end of the season. Let's look for battles, other battles, and what's going on between Simon Allen and Dale Taylor, and the answer is a lot is going on for third place. Here they are, and Dale Taylor is making moves on Simon Allen here in turn 2. It's a tight corner. Simon Allen breaks later, so he should be able to defend this, but nicely done there with the Megans battling very well with each other, but they are almost 10 seconds behind Joey English in second place. Lap 9 out of 13, we are getting into the closing stages of this race. Let's look for other battles. Diogo Silva is not far behind John Scott, but still recovering. And then we've got the big battle here. That's the one we were watching just now, between Rob Oldham in 13th place, attacking Gonçalo Mota in 12th. By the way, Scott Davley now sits dead last. Not a good race for Scott, still trying to adjust his style to these touring cars. And Scott already 52 seconds after 8 laps behind the leader, and Delphi Mora is absolutely running away with this race. Look at the gap at the front, is 2.2 seconds. Let's look at Dale Taylor, and ooh, look at this. This was a tight one here in turn 1. Let's see if anyone is getting over track limits. Didn't look like it. Not really, almost, but you can get without a penalty over the green area. What you can't do is to go over the red area. Let's look back at these two BMWs battling for 12th spots, as Rob Oldham is having ideas there of overtaking Gonçalo Mota. Didn't quite work there. It's a tricky one. Even if you come faster from behind, you have difficulties then actually executing the overtake. And by the way, the two BMW BFFs, that's Andrew Dalby and Darren Head, are separated by 2 seconds. Look at Andrew Dalby, he is running on his own. Jumbo in 9th place, sorry. And Diogo Silva is getting all over John Scott, who is now trying to protect that 8th place. And Diogo Almeida is actually not that far ahead, but very tight field, as you can see from the lap times. But the Megans are all under 140s, and the only drivers that are managing to get under 140s with the BMW are Jorge Jesus in 5th place, 138.529. Also Darren Head in 11th to 138.770. And now Diogo Silva is getting closer to John Scott. Let's look at that battle in a while, because let's see first what is happening here for 3rd place, lap 11. We have 2 laps to go by the next time they cross the line. As now, look at this, nicely done there by Del Teller. This is a good move. This is a good move. He came with a lot of traction out of turn 1. Now he's actually side by side, and he's got the inside line for turn 2. This is going to get interesting. This is going to get interesting. They give each other room. Simon Allen tries to brake late and tries to run the side by side. Oh, and Del Teller lost a lot of traction there, because the Megane, even if it is a car with a lot of traction, does not generally have a lot of traction with 2 wheels just on the track. So Simon Allen in 3rd place. Jorge Jesus is running on his own. Then it's Diogo Almeida running on his own. Oh, Diogo Silva has actually gained the position to John Scott. Let's find out how that went. And that is basically at the in turn 1, a bit of a slight bump involved there. John Scott has to yield there, because otherwise he's going to get a penalty. And he decides that it's probably better for his overall time that he just slows down in order to avoid the penalty. He drops down to 8th place. 9th is Jumbo, 10th is Andrew Dalby, 11th is his best friend Darren Head, followed by Rob Oldham, Gonçalo Mota, Kev Allen. Not sure he's going to get anywhere from here, because he is 7 seconds behind the next car, which is Gonçalo Mota, and there are only a couple of laps to go. Let's look for battles here, and Del Taylor seems to be losing a lot of steam there, as he lost quite a lot of momentum with that 2-wheeler on in turn 2 just now. The closest drivers now on the racetrack are, yes, these two, Del Taylor and Simon Allen, 3rd and 4th. Getting a shot of the race leader, Delphi Mora. He is dominating this race. Joe English is in 2nd place. 3rd is Simon Allen, and let's see where is Del Taylor. Del Taylor continues to be in hot pursuit. Ooh, look at this Simon Allen, not very composed there through turn 2. By the way, we have, well, John Scott hasn't really let Diogo Silva go anywhere. Now we just have a couple of laps to go, but John is still in the mix for 7th spot. And look at this, these two have had history. They've clashed already twice in this race, and Darren Head definitely wants to get into the top 10. Let's see if he can do that. Oh wow, nicely done there at the exit of turn 2. He was coming with a lot more momentum, and I think this time round Andrew Dalby will have to yield this one, as Darren is on the inside. And they couldn't help it but to have a bit more contact here and there. But Darren this time round and Andrew both end pointing in the right direction. So up into 10th goes Darren Head from 11th, and now he's got a bit of time, but not necessarily a lot of time. Something has happened to surely to Joey English, the rookie. He was a couple of seconds behind Delphi Mora. Now he's shown as being a lot of seconds behind him. So I wonder what is really going on here. Doesn't seem to be any sort of mistake, as the leader is about to enter his last lap. And well, he certainly seems to be slowing down, perhaps to avoid the penalty, although I'm not so sure about the effectiveness of that particular approach, or is he having troubles with his wheel? Well, we don't know. Third is Simon Allen, and Del Taylor has definitely not given up on him, as they are now approaching the last lap of this race. Delphi Mora is already on his last lap, or he will enter it very shortly. Yes, he is. Followed by Joey English, followed by Simon Allen. Del Taylor. Del Taylor was trying too hard and now loses momentum at a critical point in time, as now he's a little bit too far behind to think about making a move, and probably will remain in fourth. Fifth is Jorge Jesus. Sixth is Diogo Almeida. Seventh is Diogo Silva. We've got a trio of Portuguese drivers in fifth, sixth and seventh. Eighth is John Scott. Ninth is Jumbo. 10th is Darren Head, and Judalby, Rob Oldham, Gonçalo Mota, Kev Allen and Scott Davis. Scott Davis has not stopped, but he has lost quite a lot of time. He's a minute and 2 seconds behind the leader, as Delphi Mora is coming to take the checkered flag. Just a few more corners to go. And what a race by Delphi Mora. He qualified on pole position. He led every lap of the race. That number 86, the Monster Energy livery, is going to open his account in 2023 in the Touring Car Champion of 2023 with a victory. And there he is, Delphi Mora. A couple of corners to go, and he's gonna win this race here at the Red Bull Ring. Second place is going to be, there is a checkered flag. Delphi Mora wins. Second place is going to be Joey English. Joey English in the second place. There he is. Third place is going to be Simon Allen. Fourth is going to be Del Taylor. Fifth, the first of the BMWs, is going to be Jorge Jesus. Sixth is going to be Diogo Almeida, and he's ahead of Diogo Silva, who is in turn ahead of John Scott. They're all crossing the line. Diogo Almeida, Diogo Silva and John Scott actually not far behind at all. Ninth is Darren Hill. What happened to Jumbo? Jumbo has had a problem on the last lap, and what a disaster by Jumbo. What happened there? Oh, he's just lost it. Oh, and it was battling with Darren Head on this contact there, as well, we'll get a better replay from the chase camera, but he was trying to defend from Darren Head, but it all went horribly wrong there, as he basically ran out of roads. Now, how has this happened? Because Darren was actually very far behind. This is the last lap of the race, and it seems to me Darren was coming with a lot of momentum. There is in turn 3. Oh, Jumbo just outbrakes himself, locks up. He's now weaving a little bit too much, but this is the last lap of the race. He does not want to lose that position, as now we're getting into the final sections of this Red Bull Ring circuit, and here comes Darren on the inside, and contact there, but he sees that Darren is there. Now he's going to run side by side. There's no contact in the, at least doesn't seem to me that there was contact in the second part of the, let's see if well, there seems to be a bit of contact, but in any case Darren was already substantially, well, almost ahead. So clearly I think, well, Jumbo tries to run side by side, Darren tries to get out of it, and it is Jumbo that ends up in the gravel, and this is a disaster, because with such a tight field he's going to lose positions. So Darren head up into 9th, and into 10th is Andrew Dalby, and Jumbo drops to 11th spot on the last lap. 12th is Rob Oldham. 13th is Gonçalo Mota. They're going to both finish the race. 14th is going to be Kev Allen, and 15th and last. I can't remember if Scott Davey ever has finished last. He certainly, well, he has never finished in 15th spot. But anyway, not the greatest starts for the American driver, but he's gonna have better days as we complete the race. Race 1, round 1. There's your podium: Delphi Mora, Joey English, and Simon Allen, the reigning champion, also starting the season with a podium. It has been a great race here at Race 1 in the Labareda channel. We'll see you in Race 2. Take care.